Thank you for joining us live. Thank you so much. This is our first personal life. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kofi. Thank you, Ashura, Jerry. Thank you, Ahaji, Singer Man. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. God bless you. Read one, Kali. Thank you. Hi. How you doing today? Thank you. Format Energy, good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. So today we are actually talking about personal income tax, the new Nigerian law, the tax law that just came in, and this tax law will take effect from January 2026. So that is what we want to discuss to see how it affects each and every one of us. So the tax law, the personal income tax for salary earners and individuals. So this is the tax you pay from your salary or income. So the new law brings huge relief of for ordinary Nigerians. So that is what we want to see, those that are going to be paying and those that will not pay. Let's say those the kind of things, even both for the VAT, we are talking about it. So what you won't pay for example, low income earners are not going to be taxed on their payee. So these are the things we want to discuss so we know how it affects us from January 2026. So I'm going to list out those that won't be paying this tax. For low income earners, if you earn, for example, 800,000 naira or less in a year, so you're not going to be paying tax. Or if your monthly salary is just the minimum wage, that is 70,000 naira, so you will not pay any personal income tax from it. Then if you're a pensioner, so for pensioners, money from your pension or your gratuity, you before now they do tax all those monies, but for now, from January 2026, you're not going to be paying uh so people who lose their jobs, in Nigeria, especially in the private sector, you don't have guarantee. Your job is never secured. But if you're working with government, you can relax. Nobody will sack you understand. So people who lose their jobs, if you are paid up to like 50 million naira as compensation for job loss, you will not be taxed on it. Before now, you have to pay, but today they are telling us that by January 1st, all this will stop. Now, gifts, for example, money or items given to you as a gift are not taxed. They are not being taxed now. You can also deduct this before tax. So you can remove some expenses from your income before tax if it's calculated, like meaning you pay less tax. These include, just like I mentioned, your pension contribution, your NHIS, that is health insurance payment, your national housing fund payment, your mortgage interest payment. If you bought your own home, you're not going to be paying tax. Then your life insurance or annuity payments, no tax on them. Then 20% of your annual rent up to 500,000, no tax on them. These deductions make your taxable income smaller, so you pay less. So we're looking at now the VAT, because this is another thing that a lot of companies or businesses have been eating our monies from VAT. So now these are goods and services that will not be taxed. They are not going to be deducting 7.5% as they have always done. So food items and drinks for home use, no tax, no VAT on them. Then baby products, no VAT on them. Sanitary pad and tampon for women, no VAT on them. Your drugs and medical services, there is no VAT on them. Or in fact, before now, there was no VAT on this, especially drugs and medical services. But I notice in many pharmacies and hospitals, they still take VAT from this. So from January 2026, if anybody should do that, if I always go through your receipts, so that if you see anything like that, if you're buying your medication or medical services and you see anything VAT, you have to, protest so that they will give you back your money. Then your hospital and health care, no VAT. Education, that is your school fee, your textbooks, your learning materials, no VAT. Then your electricity bills, no VAT. Farming inputs, that is fertilizer, seed, feeds, and farm animals, no VAT. Your diesel, petrol gas, that is CNG, LPG, kerosene, and solar power equipment. Public transport, buses, taxis, and share rides, no VAT. Electric vehicles and their parts, no VAT. Disability aids, wheelchairs, hearing aids, braille tools, and so on, no VAT. Then residential housing and rent, land and building sales, humanitarian supplies, relief materials for disasters, all this, no VAT from next year. So now for small businesses that make 100 million or less a year, they don't need to charge VAT at all. Company income tax for businesses. So this is the tax companies pay on their profit. The government is reducing the burden for small and growing businesses. So if your business makes 100 million naira or less than that in a year, and you own asset worth of 250 million naira or less, you will not pay company tax. Then agriculture companies, so get 5-year tax holiday. That is, if you are into agro business, you can go into agro processing or storage and so on. So you will be getting 5 years without paying of tax. So it's tax holiday for 5 years if you are into such business, because of a truth, this is actually to encourage every one of us to go into agro business, because a lot of people don't know there is money there. There is huge money there, because even if it is doing it for Nigeria alone, you're making money. Then talk more of when you start, exporting. So you see, there is money there. Now, registered startups, officially recognized startups, don't pay CIT. Then charities, schools and churches, mosques, they are non-commercial income. That is, they are non-commercial income where they are not making money. Like, for example, they have something that is giving them money. If it is just the church, mosques, they are not supposed to pay tax. They are all tax free. Then capital gain tax for selling property or asset. This is the tax you pay when you make a profit from selling something valuable. The new law removes it from most personal sales. No tax on these things. Selling your own house, the one you live in, there is no tax now. Selling personal items worth up to 5 million naira, no tax. Selling up to 2 cars per year, no tax. Selling shares up to 150 million naira for big investors and 10 million naira for small investors. So if you reinvest your profit into a Nigerian company, you won't pay tax on it. So why I have to bring this is so that we will know, because before now, if you sell your stocks, there is always tax. There's always tax that you pay, and it mostly what even take away your profit. So if you reinvest your profit into Nigerian company, you won't pay tax on it. Also, pension funds, churches, mosques and charities don't pay this tax on their normal asset. Now, stamp duty for transfers and bank transactions. Stamp duty is the 50 naira or 100 naira usually charged on some banks transfers or documents, but that is changing now. No stamp duty on transfer below 10,000 naira. Salary payments, transfer between the same bank, like from your GT bank to another GT bank, no stamp duty from next year. Transfers of government bonds and securities, no stamp duties. Document used to transfer shares or stocks, no stamp duties. Now, why I brought it now, in summary, from January 1st 2026, these things will no longer be taxed. So you have to make more monies. As the money that used to go to tax, use it to reinvest in your any investment that you have. So categories what exempt personal income tax, that is from 800k and less, pension, job loss and so on, gift allowance and all this, deduction, pension and all the ones that I have mentioned. So if you fall in this category, you're not going to be paying tax by next year. So to reduce financial pressure on low income earners, support small businesses and encourage investment and job creation. That is why the government have to make these laws, so that they can help us to grow. Because of a truth, you see, if you're doing business, and let me say, I don't know if other state, but in Abuja, I know the kind of revenue that these people, before you know, AMAC will come, before you know, other people will come, they'll tell you signage here, you have to pay for a lot of things. So now government is trying to like reduce these things, so that as we enter next year, you have to reposition yourself. What can you go into? For example, you see that they mention agro business. If you go into agriculture, either by doing processing or even going to the villages, meet the farmers, buy off their produce and then transport it to the cities, you will make money. So by next year, you need to reposition yourself so that you too can take part and make this money that is in Nigeria, because there is money in Nigeria. It's just a matter of you positioning yourself and doing something important, doing something that, especially when you see that government is towing this way, you just have to key in so that you can, save money and make more monies for yourself. For startups, whether tech, fintech, you can see the support they are giving. So that is why I said I should bring this to us. If you have any question, please, you can drop it on the comment. And if you have any contribution, you're free to say something. Hi, Jeff. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Justice, thank you for joining. Motivator, thank you for joining. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Noah. Thank you for joining. So if you have any question, please, I'm waiting. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do that. In this channel, what we do is we bring to your notice all the how you can make money, how to increase your money, the investment opportunities in Nigeria, both stocks and also market updates. So that is what we do in this channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and God will continue to bless you. So that, and we do post videos every twice in a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So you can always come in and see what we have next. If you have any question or there is anything you want us to do video on, maybe investments or whatsoever, you're free to give us on the comment, because I will always pick it up and explain that to everyone. Any question? Is there anything you need to add to it? Jeff, don't you think the new tax regime will be very heavy on Nigerians? It will not be heavy on Nigerians, because it is rather going to lighten the Nigerians'